What's up guys and welcome back to another episode of Mount Bundle Review, the series where I bitch around about skins that look either extremely good or extremely terrible. Of course this is just my dumbass opinion and you can spend your money however you like. I'll be judging the skins separately and then the bundle overall. The skins will be judged on how good they look like and if the model changes or the quality is better or worse. And after judging all the skins, I'll judge the bundle in its entirety to tell you if it is worth your gems or not. Today's bundle is called Exotic Breeds and they kinda suck. There are 15 skins in this mount bundle, making the likelihood of you getting your successful gamble 7% if you want to spend 400 gems. You can also spend 1200 gems if you want a specific mount skin. Please don't. As I just said, these mounts kinda suck. Let me explain. When looking at the first 3 mount skins for the Raptor, you see that 2 of them actually have a model change and one of them is just a weird recolor. But let's not start from there, let's start from the individual ones. The Exalted Gate Guardian has a weird white glow to him. His eyes shine and his armor is covered in gold. Now for normal skin this doesn't look bad, but it just doesn't look good either. If you think about something more exotic, you would think that maybe he is covered in gold and like gold particles would be falling from him. And if it's something more exotic, you would think about a chameleon that was with the other mount bundle, but this just feels out of place and uncreative. Coming to our second skin, which is even more uncreative, we have the Masked Runner. Now here's a picture of the Masked Runner and here's a picture of the normal Raptor, and you can see that the model changes just a little. This is just a recolor. It doesn't add anything. It doesn't look cool. I feel like your 400 gems are definitely well spent somewhere else. Coming to our last Raptor skin, which is arguably the best one, it's the Primordial Raptor. Now you can see here that the model has definitely changed. It's a Raptor. He looks pretty cool. He's very slick. The model is very thin. He has a nice body, has a nice tail. He looks like a raptor. This is a good skin. It's not an exotic breed, but it's a good skin. You could put this in like a prehistorical mount bundle instead of an exotic breed mount bundle. But nevertheless, it looks really nice. On to our second mount, which is the Springer. Also 3 skins, also all 3 very unoriginal. Let's start with the Alloyed Iron Tail. If you ever want your Springer to be iron or iron, here you go. This Springer's whole body is covered with iron. His eyes glow yellow, but his whole body just feels kind of oily. I know, if this is your jam, go for it, but for me, it was a definite turn off. It just feels very weird, and 400 gems, this is not worth it. Then we have the Brisbane Brushtail. Yes, the model changed, but also kinda slightly. The tail is cut and the ears are cut. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what kind of animal this is supposed to represent. Someone tell me in the comments. But again, the model changes slightly. It's kinda meh. It's just black and white. Nothing really exotic about this, in my opinion. Not worth 400 gems. Then we have the most unoriginal of them all, the Savannah Stripe Tail. This is just a bunny with stripes, and it's supposed to represent a tiger, I think. But it doesn't look like a tiger. And why would you put it on a bunny? It makes no sense. The model doesn't change. It looks lazy. In my opinion, don't buy this. The next mount is a Skimmer. You have 2 skins for them. The first Skimmer skin is the Sand Sold, and the second one is the Spotted Orchid. What is there to say about the first one? He's just covered in sand. Yes, the particles fly off, and yes, it's sandy. And he has runes on his armor. Otherwise, there's nothing special about this skin. The model doesn't change, but he has sand particles flying out. So if that's your jam, go for it. Otherwise, don't buy it. The second Skimmer skin is a bit more original. It's the Spotted Orchid. And as you can see, the Skimmer is supposed to represent an orchid. But I also feel that here, the model doesn't change. Why, if it's supposed to be an orchid, why don't you put more flowers on top? Or maybe some fungi or something like that. This is just a recolor and the model doesn't change at all. I feel like the skin design is extremely lazy and bare bones. You could have done way more. But instead you chose to just make the colors pop. And that's it. Not worth 400 gems. Next up are the Jackals. Now, I believe that the Jackals actually have pretty good skins. The first one is the Alloyed Quicksilver. Here, as opposed to the bunny, you see that the armor he has on is golden, but his skin kind of changes as if something is like moving. With the bunny, it was static, but here it's ever moving. It still feels like he is oiled up, but otherwise it looks actually pretty nice. The second Jackal skin, and probably the best skin in this bundle, is the Vabian Lightpaw. Now here you have the particle effects. You see that the skin is ever changing. The model changed as well. It looks very, very beautiful. His eyes are glowing. He has cute little ears. It's very, very nice. This is a very, very well made skin. And here I would say this is definitely worth 400 gems if that's what you want to buy. Now from good skins we will go back to bad skins for the Rollerbeetle this time. Here we have two skins, the first one being the Nutuka Snake Shell. Also again it's just a recolor. There's nothing even really changing. Yes, his shell, but that's it. There's no model change, there's no nothing. This is not worth anything. Coming to our second Rollerbeetle skin, this one is a bit better. This is the Star Shell. Here you can see that the particle effects are going out. The model has not changed though. But if you like looking into your Rollerbeetle soul while you spin around, this might be the skin for you. No, the model doesn't change, and yes, the skin is just a recolor with a fancy color, but it's not that bad. Now we finally arrived to the last 3 mounts from the mount bundle. And all 3 of the skins are for the Griffon. The first one is the Arctic Icewing. The model changes slightly. You can see that the whole Griffon is made up of ice. You have particle effects of the ice coming out and some snow as well. Now again, let me reiterate, when you think about a exotic breed, do you think about the Arctic Icewing? No. You think about something better. The Arctic Icewing is just a slight model change with a particle effect. Yes, it looks okay, but it doesn't look good. Why would you spend 400 gems on something that's okay if you can have something that is good? The model does not change at all. When you think about an Icewing, you would think more icy. Maybe horns out of ice coming out, but this is just, in my opinion, kind of lazy. Now for the second skin, the Cornon Brighttail, I'm not really gonna spend a lot of time going over the skin because it's just a recolor. There's nothing else. There's no model change. There are no particle effects. It's a recolor. That's all. Don't buy this. And again, remember the mount bundle's name. These are supposed to be exotic breeds. Why is it then just a mount that has a recolor? That's the problem. Don't call exotic breeds and then you slap me in the face with a red Griffon. Coming to our last skin, which is called the Primeval. Here you can see that the eyes are glowing. The model does not change, but you do have a particle effect. The whole Griffon is kind of a ghost, I guess you could say. And you could see the steam or ghost particles coming out of the Griffon. Also not really a good skin. It doesn't really change anything. You just have the Griffon, but he looks smoked up. That's it. Now, you might be saying, holy shit, Angry Asuda. You're actually angry. And yes, I am. Well, this is not because I hate Guild Wars or I hate the skins or whatever. I just feel like there is a loss of potential here. You call them exotic breeds, yet nothing really changes. Nothing makes them really exotic. So for me, it's not only misleading, but like disappointing. Now, after all that yapping out the way, let's rate the bundle overall. This bundle is definitely a 1 out of 10. It's definitely not worth, in my opinion. You have a lot of rescolors. The models don't change for a lot of skins. You're better off, in my opinion, spending your 400 gems if you want to gamble somewhere else. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Angry Asuda out.